loaded. I probably have a vest on. I'll probably fucking Velcro a vest on and go clear that fucking house.
I would just ask everybody if they live there or not. How do you not know if somebody lives with you?
Because they're sneaking around. They're like sleeping in closets and
Yeah,
shit.
they're all fucked up all day. They're 20-year-old kids. They're dumb as shit, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about like a regular house, like your house.
Yeah, if somebody was sleeping, I did think there was somebody in the attic for a while because I would hear things sometimes, like little settling, but I went up there and there's nothing.
Probably rats.
Yeah, it could have been.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what else has been going on.
The other thing I saw last night, the American Gladiators documentary started on ESPN.
Yeah.
Have you seen any of it or anything?
Well, dude, I was around when American Gladiators was huge.
So this is the guy that created it or is founded. The documentary is very interesting because this guy who is credited as the creator, I think, he's not very forthcoming and honest with everything, and he won't answer the guy's questions a lot, which is kind of strange. So he made a good documentary about it, and not all the gladiators would come talk about it. He's very open about the, like, I didn't pay them, and if they wanted to leave, go ahead and leave.
Wow. What? The American Gladiators didn't get paid?
They were making $25,000 for 52 episodes, they said.
What?
Yeah. Two shows a day. Something that's what they get into in this is like how big the marketing got. There was 13 million viewers, I think, at one point per show.
So he crushed it with all the. He made it.
And he paid them nothing.
Nothing.
Piece of shit.
They were getting hurt really bad. One of the guys was a big one. They show how bad he is right now. He's walking around. He can't feel half of his limbs. 7 herniated discs.
Oh my god.
Remember they had names like it was like Fierce and like River.
Yeah. Ice Cube.
Yeah. Thunder. Now it's like lethargy. Yeah, they have like they're all fucking in wheelchairs.
Didn't they bring American Gladiators back at one
they
point
tried
in time?
bringing it back, but the thing I find interesting about this guy is he started off his career as an Elvis impersonator, which is why he looks a little bit like Elvis.
That dude doesn't look anything like Elvis.
He was
He's
obsessed
lying.
with Elvis. But
He was obsessed with Elvis?
That could have been part of it. He could be putting on about how much he got.
Been burned.
It's a very interesting documentary. I'll just say that.
Oh, you mean
there's
like
still
he might have
parts.
been lying about how much money he made?
He's lying about a lot of stuff, and the guy who's making it asked him. You can hear him asking him. He's like, and he just sort of stops. Like, I'm not going to talk about that.
He looks like a low-level MMA promoter. That's what he looks like. He looks like one of those guys. Our guys could take on the UFC's best champions any day of the week.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys. That's what he looks like.
Yeah, that guy definitely looks maybe a little bit
This
like
is
a
Takeo's
sneaky
day.
guy.
Oh, he definitely looks like
I'm trying to think of the first sneaky guy I ever met.
the first sneaky guy you ever met?
Yeah.
You really can go back that far?
I will kill you
Yeah,
again.
we met somebody in like utter sneak.
Sneaky. Oh, you meet
It's such a
lot of
unique
them in
term.
the comedy
Do
business. Club owner
yeah.
business. You ever been ripped off by club?
Dude, there was a club where I felt bad that people didn't come, and I was like, "You guys can pay me less," and they paid me less.
Go
Because
on,
no one was
victory.
there. But you said they could.
Yeah,
That's not a robbery. That's a
This is
deal.
my stuff.
yeah, you're right.
You made a deal. You were a nice guy. You were trying to help out the club, and you
Yeah.
felt bad. That you
Made a
didn't-
bad deal.
Get another hit for that.
Yeah,
Feel
I will.
better.
Give that back, bully.
Oh, Jesus, you went in deep. You got your nostrils right up to the... Give me that.
I like that.
Yes,
I want you to
brace
get out
it.
there on your own.
Here, Takeo.
A hunting we will go. A hunting.
You want some of this, Jamie? You remember? Oh, that's all you need? I
you
can't
think
remember.
the wind-
I just did it 10 seconds ago.
Die.
See?
Only an extra to make that one.
Dude, you sound like a guy crying in the
Takeo says
40s.
die.
Like his dog died. Oh, Yeller, I'm gonna miss you. Ooh. Oh my God.
Dude, do you think like? Do you ever think like do you think? Remember we were talking about like frequencies? Like there could be other ways to evaluate what's going on with us. Do you think we'll ever get like new ways to look at our like to quantify ourselves and how we're feeling and stuff?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so with science. Yeah, I think with new innovation and technology,
And I will kill
they'll
you
probably
again.
develop ways to recognize
I
the
am
amount
just
of
getting
energy that
warmed
your
up.
body has. You know, because like some people are just they have energy. Like what is energy? Like I was thinking that. Like I switched back to the carnivore diet. You know, I go back and forth on that, and for the most part, I eat mostly meat and fruit and some vegetables. That's like most of my diet. Occasionally I go crazy. Like we were in the Bronx, we went to the Italian deli and those giant sandwiches. It was amazing. But that's a rare deviation off my path. But I had this moment, I guess it was about 2 weeks ago, where I was like, you know what? The best I ever felt, like literally the best I ever felt all throughout the day was when I was on the carnivore diet. Let me go back to that. Let me see what that's like. And one of the things that I saw, like immediately, for 7-8 days, I ate nothing but meat and eggs and fat and bacon and nothing else. I mean, nothing. I was real strict. And my brain was working so much better. It was weird. Like I wasn't searching for, like it was like I had more access to my ability to form sentences, I was thinking clearer. It was more effortless to have conversations. And I was like, this is interesting. This is very interesting because this is not how I normally feel. This is like me at my optimum, but I'm able to sustain this multiple days in a row. And I think that a lot of the food that we eat, foods that have preservatives, a lot of bread and bullshit and just shitty food, your body uses so much resources to process that, and it's not real food. It's kind of bad for you, right? And so your body is just like overburdened with this extra work. When you eat clean, like really, I'm eating, wild game and fat and beef tallow and all that and eggs. Your body doesn't have any bullshit to process. So your body is less inflammation. You have less inflammation, and you're operating off of ketones essentially for the most part, because your body is entering into a ketogenic state. You'll have you just feel like even through the whole day. I never felt like at the end of the day like, boy, I'm tired. There was none of that. It was just
So that's mostly on the keto diet.
well, it's carnivore.
Carnivore diet.
But carnivore, you must reach periods of ketosis. There's a process called gluconeogenesis, I believe it is. See if that's correct. And I think that what that is when your body consumes only protein, your body will convert some of that protein into glucose. And that actually can knock you out of a ketogenic state if you eat too much protein. But when you eat like that, I mean, everybody's different, clearly. I know people that function very well on a vegetarian diet.
Yeah.
Not for me, dude. For
like
me,
Lunchables.
yeah, gluconeogenesis take you out of ketosis. A widespread fear surrounding keto is that consuming too much protein may lead to the upregulation of a process called gluconeogenesis and throw you out of ketosis, undoing all your hard work. The truth is, gluconeogenesis is essential for our overall health and actually allows us to remain in ketosis. Oh, okay, so it's good. So whatever that is, that's how I function at my best. So that's how I eat now. Like last night when Dave brought the pizza backstage, it looked good.
What'd you do?
I wanted a piece. I was like, I'm not eating it.
Did you leave the room or anything, or what were some of your methods you used to stay away from it?
I don't have to do that. I just go, no, just not eating it.
Did you do a gum or anything to keep yourself busy?
No. I wasn't even itchy. I wasn't itchy. If I had a couple of cocktails, I'll probably be able to grab a slice.
Oh, fuck you, boy.
That's the problem. A couple of tequilas.
Oh, yeah.
Next thing you know, I want some pizza.
Oh, dude, I'll fucking...
Yeah.
I'll do whatever after that, boy.
But I think
Little tequila.
I think I'm done. I lost 5 pounds in 2 weeks, and not anything like that.
You dine on lead this day.
Immediately, my body just went shriveled up.
Do you have some fitness goals? Like at this point in your life, you've kind of been through fitness a lot. It's been a big part of your life. Do some of your fitness goals kind of change as we get a little bit older, do you think?
Not for me. No, because with hormone replacement and all the stuff that I do, even at 55, my body functions essentially the same way it did when I was 30. And I'm not exaggerating. Like, I have no problem doing hard workouts, kettlebells, heavy bag workout, jiu-jitsu. Injuries are an issue, with me. Like, I just tweaked my back muscle the other day doing some deadlifts, but nothing serious. But as far as like fitness goals, is just to maintain this.
Yeah.
Like I know I have an extraordinary level of fitness for my age. And I just maintain it. And I think that if you can maintain it, that's the key. The real problem with people is they get out of shape, and then getting back in shape is very hard. It's a fucking grind.
Yeah.
It's a grind. And for me, for my mental health, man, I am not the same person.
Meet your death, demon!
With that whole thing with like
100%.
the frequencies. I'm at my best as a human being, as a friend, as a husband, as a father, as a comedian, as a podcast host, as a neighbor, as a general person. I'm at my best if I work out.
Yeah.
100% of the time. I'm less anxious. I don't have any demons. Everything's good. I exercise it all out. It's just like, it's like a purge that I have to do. I have to do that purge. And if I don't fucking I don't get that out, then I have all this extra, like, all this extra unnecessary angst and weirdness. And I think that's most people, man. I mean, when I go, like, I've been injured before where I couldn't do anything for like a week or two, and you start getting depressed. You start feeling like shit. You start feeling real dull and sad. And I think that is a lot of people out there that suffer from depression. In fact, they say that exercise is 1.5 times more effective than SSRIs for curing depression.
Oh, in a heartbeat, man. If I take because I take SSRIs and I do exercise. If I take my SSRI, I don't feel really anything. I just feel like, oh, I took my SSRI. But if I go for a run, like even today, I had to go run a couple miles. I was like, I know I'm going to be on here. I want to like just be in like I want to have my good energy going. I'm going to go for a run, you know. And so, yeah, I know that it makes me feel better if I do something athletic, you know.
What SSRI are you taking?
I think I'm on Lexapro right now. I think the generic one, whatever the cheaper one is. You know, I think it's, I don't know what it is, but it is, they say it's fine. You know? So I don't know if I believe them, but I mean, I'm fucking taking it. Now, I would like to maybe take 30 days off and try ayahuasca again. I feel like I'm getting back around where I would like to do it again, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to fucking feel. I want to be right up there on nature.
I want to be in there.
Line up and die,
Dropping on nature's nuts, boy. I think
Yeah.
God will be right up there.
Yeah. And eavesdropping on nature. Right up next to it.
Oh, dude.
Feeling it.
Oh, ayahuasca, dude. You're fucking Mother Nature, she'll break out that wiener and you'll be like, damn, I didn't know Mother Nature had a wiener, you know?
Mother Nature's got everything.
It's powerful, dude. That ayahuasca stuff is real powerful, so I would like to do that again.
What is the reason why you take the SSRIs?
I think because when I'm off of them, something feels wrong. I feel it's a battle.
A battle.
It's a battle to, even if I do running and I do fitness, right? It's a battle to keep myself even. So instead of dealing with that at a more intense level, I choose to take them because it just makes it a little bit easier. I don't think it's taking the easy way out, though, because if I don't take them and I still do all those things, it's hard for me to get to a good baseline.
What do you mean by wrong? When you say you feel wrong, what does it feel like?
I feel like at any moment, kind of my feelings can just drop off into like a really surprise low.
Out of nowhere, for no reason.
Yes. Sometimes with a little bit of motivation to it, right? Or some trigger. But the level that it drops off to, it's too much of a drop for me to not get some help. If it were a little bit and it felt manageable, that's okay. But when it's pretty steep, it's like, oh man, this feels sometimes scary.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
But it's gotten, doing that ayahuasca stuff made it a lot better than it had ever been.
Neil Brennan said it basically cured him.
Yeah, he's the one who took me to it.
Yeah, he said it made him much happier. It cured him of like a lot of his what he felt like were personality disorders that he had. You know, like Neil's a great guy, but he's very, very smart. Very smart. And sometimes, you know, I wonder about real smart guys. They're just always thinking about things, and maybe too much about certain things. And, you know, you just get overwhelmed by thoughts and anxiety and emotions. And anxiety is a lot of is fretting about possibilities. For a lot of people. You know, it's the inability to live in the moment. And you fret about anxiety. And a lot of it has to do with childhood trauma. A lot of it has to do with genetics. Anxiety is a weird thing. They think that anxiety, whether it's a learned behavior or not, you can actually get it from your parents. I don't know why. See,
I could see that.
Can you get anxiety? Is anxiety genetic? Google that.
My mom made us anxious.
Yeah?
Yeah, dude. Sometimes we'd go get ice cream, dude, and she'd get angry. She'd get so angry if we drift in the oven.
Here it goes. There's clear research showing that anxiety is influenced by genetics. In fact, experts notice a family connection for anxiety even before they understood how DNA or genes work. If you have a close relative with anxiety, your chance of developing is about 2 to 6 times higher than if you don't.
Well, I don't know if that's genetic or if it's just like
Learned behavior.
Yeah, if your mom is always or your dad is always like, they're fucking anxious and they're
Right.
fucking, if they come over and they're always fucking tickling you, then you're gonna fucking feel tickled all the time.
If you're always getting fucked with.
Yeah, something, bugging you or something, even just tickling you with their words.
Yeah, genetics of generalized anxiety disorder and related traits. Well, for sure, mental illness is genetic. There's a lot of people that are mentally ill and their children are mentally ill, or their families mentally
Meet your
ill.
death,
Or,
demon.
Man, I used to have a much more ignorant view on mental health, because I have my own mental health issues, which I'm sure we all do, but mine was like, just don't be a
I'll
pussy.
send you all to
Get your work
graves.
done, you feel great. And I don't have to take anything, and even though I don't have to take anything, I'm still doing something to mitigate it. I'm doing something every day to work on it. And when I don't, I do feel it.
Right.
Like a lot of people do. So I always wonder, maybe those people just aren't
I
doing
would
the work.
dishonor
Maybe
your
they
spawn.
just got up in the morning, went running before work, or did something, maybe they could get through this and not need a fucking pill.
Yeah,
I don't think that.
interesting. Yeah, I think there's times where I thought that I'm just not tough enough. I'm just not
Yeah.
doing enough.
Yeah.
I'm not enough to battle this, right?
Right.
And then I get to a point where so many times I tried to stop taking it, and it's like it's too much of a discrepancy that makes things unmanageable to a point where it feels like it's unfair to be that unmanageable to myself. So I get back on it, and I don't think it really bothers me or anything like that. But yeah, it's kind of the same with alcoholism. Like I thought alcoholism used to just be like somebody
It's your day to die.
couldn't stop drinking or whatever.
Right.
But there's so much more. I mean, alcoholism is the only disease that will tell you don't have the disease, right?
How many zombies
That's
does it
crazy.
take to
Like,
kill
imagine if
Pacquiao?
you put on like a shirt, right? But every
send you
couple
all to
days,
your
the shirt was
grave.
like, guess what? You don't have a shirt on.
I don't think that's a good analogy.
I don't know if it is, but it seems like it. But that's what
Because
alcoholism is.
alcoholism would tell you don't have a problem.
Right.
Another drink.
Yeah.
No hands, no hands.
Have another coke. Have some more coke. Yeah. Have another family.
Woo!
Yeah.
Brian Simpson was telling us he went through a brief period of time where he was doing a lot of Adderall, and he said like a week. He said he did a week of Adderall, and he said, "Man, like that shit pulls you in."
Really? He said that?
Oh yeah. He said that shit pulls you in. He goes, it makes you focus. He told this fucking hilarious
dine on
story
lead this day.
about he went to jerk off, and he had 90 tabs open. And he was looking at porn for 5 hours because he couldn't
That's
pick
it.
one
Come
that he
to your
liked the best.
autosol.
I was like, you gotta talk about that on stage.
Line up and die,
Brian
demon.
Simpson is so fucking funny.
That's like he's
He
like,
is so fucking funny.
oh yeah, he's great.
He is so funny. His way of looking at things is so interesting because he's so thoughtful. Like when he thinks about things, he's really like he never comes up with a half-ass take on things.
Meet your
His
death,
take on
demon.
things is like he's been thinking about it for a long time before he brings it up. You know,
Yeah, I like listening to him. There's something really unique about him.
very unique comedy style too. Relaxed and and punchlines.
Pacquiao says die.
Yeah.
I love a crisp punchline.
Yeah, you're pretty. You stay in like kind of like
All
a.
going to die.
You like to have the things kind of organized.
Yeah. Well, like that's the best. You also have the disorganized moments.
Any of them?
Where you're fucking around.
Not enough.
Like if I have new bits, there's a lot of disorganized moments.
Yeah, I was watching you perform last night. It was cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. So a lot of it was new stuff that I hadn't heard, and
Yeah, I got about a half hour of new shit.
it was. Yeah, there was a couple things I was laughing
More
at.
that come.
It was
More
fun.
that fall.
God, it was so much fun over there.
God, it's so fun, right?
I can't believe you have your own club, dude.
Doesn't it feel like it's been open forever though? Isn't that feel? It feels weird in there.
Well, I think some of it because it's been such a journey for you that other people have kind of been on with you in a
I
way.
am just getting warmed up.
Well,
Like-
also all these guys who had faith in me,
Yeah.
who moved out here, and moved out here when I didn't even have a club yet, and we were all just operating out of the Vulcan. But the shows at the Vulcan were so fun. People were like, "Man, I think I believe him." Yeah. That's us last night. Come
Oh,
on,
it
son.
is.
Look at that picture. Come on, Louis, Dave, Tom, Ron, me,
Ian.
Theo, motherfucking Vaughn,
This is
Asan,
Cat.
Derek. Come on, man.
Wow.
That was a great night. What a show, too. What a
Now
fucking
you
show.
walk on the sleeping
I
dragon.
know, dude. I can't believe we get to do this for our job. There you are. There I
you
am.
are. Yeah, man. It's the greatest job in the history of the world.
David.
For us. Look at Tom up there.
Big old
Dude,
foul creature.
Ron, look at him, huh?
Murdering. I retired. Bitch, you ain't retired. You've been at my club 4 days a week. Shut the fuck up. He had a retirement party. I'm like, I am not going to your fucking Fugazi. He had a retirement party. I'm like, I am not going to your fucking Fugazi retirement party. I know you, Ron White. You're too goddamn good. He's too goddamn good. That guy's never going to quit doing comedy. He's too good.
He's too, even just listening to him is fun. And he comes from a time, he has a time period trapped in him that is, a lot of people don't have it. He's got that rural Texas, like a way and a look at the world that you have to have that voice still out there.
Yeah.
You know, you have to.
Well, he's a real legend.
Oh,
And
yeah.
having him around the club all the time, it's like, it's so morale boosting for
I
everybody.
just saw this video of him
Look
the
at
other
Ron
day,
White. Look at his.
1989.
Give me some of this.
You know, I was amazed by this. 21 of us took us down there. The Guadalupe River. We had 6 ideas.
I'll send you all to your graves.
We floated down that river drinking beer for 6.5 hours. Not one person had to pee.
You dine on lead this day.
Remarkable bladder control. I'd like to think my friends wouldn't pee on themselves. I know I would. That's the best thing about tubing the river. You can just paddle up to somebody you don't even know.
More that come.
That is pretty true, dude. Just being right next to somebody. There's nothing.
Look at him back then.
Wow.
Look at him back then with the long hair. He was like a hippie.
Bro,
Early 90s. Wow.
there's nothing better than being in a
Akio says
pool
die.
talking to somebody and peeing at the same time. I get point
There's a
blank
lot of
range.
things better than that.
Yeah, you're right.
There's a lot of things better than that. That's not even in the top 1,000. Out of all the good things, the smell of fresh baked bread is better than that.
All right, maybe, dude.
Without even eating it.
Love a good
I mean, yeah, if you got a fucking kitchen or whatever, yeah, but still, I'm saying if you're really just out in the elements, dude, being point blank range, urinating into somebody else's space, and
That
they don't
doesn't
know it.
do anything good for I feel like a terrible person pissing on somebody.
Yeah, you're right.
Come on, man.
Yeah,
Why are you out there peeing on people?
we're better than that.
We're better than that.
Yeah, we are.
Come on, man.
Yeah, you're right.
We're better than that.
You're right. I'm not gonna.
This is Takio's
Are you
day.
excited about tonight?
Yeah.
Still not enough for you to stop me.
Yeah, I'm excited, dude.
I get excited every time I go there.
You do?
Yeah, I can't believe it's real. Still can't believe it's real.
Yeah.
When I walk in, I can't believe it's real. Say hi to everybody, can't believe it's real. All these people are working, staff.
I
everybody,
know, huh?
Hi, how's everybody doing? Can't believe it's real.
They're like, okay.
Go upstairs, all the comics are there hanging out. It's a party every night. It's It's like the best night of your life
Mm-hmm.
every night. It's like what we had at the store, better. It really is. It's
Yeah.
crazy. It's the environment is, and it's so perfectly set up for stand up, and the audiences are so hyped. I mean, you get there at 9:30. There's a fucking line around the block waiting to get on that 10 o'clock show. It's nuts.
It is exciting, man. I mean, even just seeing people excited to be at a club again is
Yeah.
exciting, you know?
Yeah. Well, this town has really embraced it. You know, like because it was a long time that I was, you know, us moving here was a big deal. There's
Yeah.
a lot of articles written like this stand-up comedy has moved to Austin. And then when I said I was going to open up a club, there was like a lot of hype about that. And it was almost better that the first place didn't work out because it took so long before we bought the second place and then started construction. It was a whole year process after that. There's a lot going on. It's like a year and a half of just straight construction.
Did you feel at some point, like, was there ever a point where you were like, I don't know if this is going to work out, but I've already said it's going to, so I have to
No.
do it?
No, because fortunately I had the resources.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like if I was stressed out financially and it was like I was like cutting it close, that would have been a different experience.
I am
This
just
experience
getting
was
warmed
like,
up.
what do we got to do? Okay, let's do that. What's the best thing to do? Do that. You know, like when Louis C.K. came, and I showed him the club, and he fucking loved it. He gave me all these good suggestions. One of the things he said, the stage in the small room was too big, and he was like, "You're right." He's like, "Yeah, you should cut it down like 4 feet on each side." So I got the construction guys over here. It was before we poured the cement, so all the rebar was cut, the metal was in place, and I was like, "Let's make it smaller." Cut it here and cut it there. And they're like, "Well, it's gonna take more time." I'm like, "Yeah, but we gotta do it right. Let's do it right. Lower the ceiling, shrink the stage, lower the ceiling in the big room, sound deadening everywhere." Because like a lot of comics like they like echo in a comic club because it makes the laughs louder, but it also makes it harder to hear what the person's saying because all the sound is
100%.
bouncing around.
Yeah, I don't like that. I like it with carpet or, you know, like
Yeah.
as much can be absorbed.
That's what you want.
Yeah.
What we
out
got
of my
now is
face.
perfect.
Yeah, Louis is awesome, man. Louis came on my podcast, and we had one of the best chats I've ever had with somebody.
You told me that the YouTube
your day to die.
removed your RFK podcast.
Yeah.
What happened?
They they said some of the clips were in violation of their medical
Chop you up
policies,
and feed you to
or
the
like
monkeys.
like stuff that goes against the WHO, right?
Do you know that North Korea just joined the WHO?
I
North
would
Korea has like
dishonor
an
hell's
executive
fault.
position on the board of the WHO. See what that is, which is insane.
Yeah.
This is literally a country that starves their citizens.
Touch me, and
the
I will
WHO
kill
is
you
allowing
again.
them. I mean, it's just what is the WHO? What the fuck? You telling me that
Corporal punishment?
Robert Kennedy Jr. is lying? Because I bet he's not.
Yeah.
I bet everything he said is true. I bet everything he said could be backed up by data.
Oh, stench of
Well,
rotten
I mean, one thing that I love about Bobby or Robert Kennedy, he's a friend of mine, and I've always really. He's an environmentalist, right? And so he's
That's how he
always
started. He was
right,
an environmentalist.
environmentalist. So it makes sense that he would care about the environment inside of our bodies as well, right? Like he has this River Keepers organization. They're just about keeping the waters clean, and his whole life has been about that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I found it just like, yeah, if somebody wants to object to the status quo or raise their hand and ask questions, that makes perfect sense to me. And then also, he's not like an anti-vaxxer, but he's about like vaccine efficacy, right? Which means I think like,
It's about honest vaccine efficacy. Like, what's the real data versus what are they selling you? Because if you look at the COVID vaccine, for example, they
This is
sold us
Tuesday.
something that wasn't accurate. They said that it was going to stop transmission. They said that it was going to stop infection. It did neither of those things.
Yeah.
They also said that it was going to offer long-lasting protection. It did not. It just didn't. And they said that it was safe and effective. How can they know that? It's a new product, and you're administering it to hundreds of millions of people without a lengthy trial period like they do with every other drug.
Yeah.
So all these people were like wanting it to be effective, so they were doing the work of the pharmaceutical companies, which they've never done
Send you
before.
all to your
No one has
graves.
ever like said, you've got to trust these people that have the biggest fucking criminal fines in U.S. history. These people that have been lying to us left and right. These people that they've been tried and convicted for lying about the side effects, for lying about the efficacy, whether or not something is addictive. We know that with the opioid crisis.
oh yeah, you watch Dope Sick for, I mean, that's unbelievable. You get involved, and it's unbelievable what's happened with all of that.
Yeah, this is and the Sackler family just
sick.
got they had to give, I think it was like a large payment. I think it was like $6 or $8 billion, and that gives them immunity. That was very recent. See if you can find that.
But that's fucking nothing.
Sackler family wins immunity from opioid lawsuits, which is fucking wild.
Unreal.
$6 billion. So
Well, what about all the people that fucking died? What about all the
Exactly.
fucking kids that overdosed? What about all the families who had a child who sprained their fucking ankle,
Right.
and and 2 years later lost their kid to addiction,
Yeah.
because this company didn't care, and because the FDA was compromisable. I'm sorry, man. That shit fucking makes me. I think these people should be fucking hung.
It's evil. And they
It's
lied.
evil. That's what it is.
They absolutely lied about whether or not it was addictive. In exchange, they will pay $6 billion to help address opioid addiction.
What does that even
What does that
mean?
mean? What does that mean? How are you going to address it? Hey guys, opioids are addictive. Who knows? Yeah.
Yeah, man. That shit breaks
Payments
my
will be
heart.
spread over multiple years, but look at how much they made. See, well, the thing is, they're collectively worth 11 billion, and they had to give up 6. So how much money did they make off of opiates? You see, that's the thing that happened with Vioxx. With Vioxx, they got in trouble.
What is it, Vioxx?
Vioxx is an anti-inflammatory that didn't particularly work very well, and also killed a bunch of people. Killed at least 50,000 Americans. Caused stroke. A friend of mine got a stroke from it. It caused all these issues with people. They were aware of it. There's internal documents that showed that it was going to be a problem. They knew it was going to be a problem, but in the internal documents they said, but we think we will do very well with this. Wow. So they did very well financially. I think they made something like 12 billion off of Vioxx, and they had to give up 5. So they got a fine of 5 billion. But that means they had all that profit.
That's a lot.
It's sick.
But when did that start to happen in our country? When did it start to happen that there's that we're not protecting our people? Like, when did that? Does that make, like,
Profit. It's all profit. If there was no money in this, they would go after those folks. 100%. There's money. And
when
there's
did it
money
happen in our time, in existence of time? Was there a point where that wasn't the way of the thing?
Well, here's the first problem. Advertising for pharmaceutical drugs on television.
Yeah.
Advertising for pharmaceutical drugs is illegal in every country in the world except for New Zealand and the United States. You shouldn't be able to influence people to want to take these drugs that they may or may not need. That should be entirely a conversation between you and your healthcare provider. Someone should be giving you an educated understanding of what the pros and cons are, and this is why I think you need this, and this is why you should take that.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be you coming to your doctor. Ask your doctor if La 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 is right for you. Do you have days or blah blah blah? Do you have that? But La 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 is for you. And they have these fucking people dancing around in wheat fields. And,
Yeah.
you know, and spinning their daughter around on a merry-go-round, and everything looks like a great old time.
Yeah. Yeah, they have like 2 black people like hugging in a bathtub or something.
There's a
What is it?
cookout. Everybody's having a great
What's this
time.
about?
Bliss.
Yeah.
It's about happy moments. But here's the thing. You take those pills, they're not going to invite you to that cookout. You still got no friends.
You're just at home on pills, dude. I've done it. You're not fucking resuscitating. You're not doing CPR on some senior citizen somewhere.
You're
Like,
out there playing pickleball in the sun. You're out there suffering by yourself. But it's crazy. It's like everybody wants to be happy. So the problem with advertising is, I mean, it's one thing if you're advertising for a nice pair of shoes or something like that. I don't find any problem with that. It makes people want them, but
I am just
what's the
getting warmed
downside?
up.
You buy something you really can't afford. That's the worst downside. I don't find that to be that much of a problem. I don't find advertising in general to be a problem because I believe generally, if you're intelligent, you should be able to like navigate that. But when it comes to things like drugs, and especially when it comes to antidepressants, and when it comes to these things that they're advertising constantly on television, constantly on YouTube, just constantly, the amount of money is so extraordinary that they put into advertising. It's such a huge chunk of the advertising budgets of television shows.
it's every show.
Every show.
I mean, it's not a joke. It's every. It's like, don't we see that that's obviously not. We don't need everybody to be on pills.
Yeah, well, they think you do. This is what I found so bizarre. Look, I never thought I would be in the center of any sort of controversy about pharmaceutical drugs or about health care. Never thought that I would be in the middle of it. But one of the things that stunned me was talking to these people that were doctors, that were fat, that were unhealthy, that didn't take vitamins, that didn't exercise, that definitely didn't optimize their health. And they were trying to put in your head that the only way to be healthy was to get injected with some experimental medical thing. And that's fucking horseshit. That's never been the case, ever.
Yeah.
That violates all of our understandings about the human immune system, about health and wellness, about just your overall metabolic health. It violates all of our understandings. People who are healthier, people who exercise, people who go outside, who get vitamin D, people that are taking vitamin C, people that are supplementing, they have a much better time with any kind of illness they get.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of documentation about this. This is science too, but the problem is it's not science that's supported by these companies that are directly funded by pharmaceutical companies.
Yeah.
Whatever these organizing bodies are, whether it's the FDA or the CDC or whatever, when you look at what happens with the FDA and the CDC, how these people go from being presidents and being the people that recommend policy, and then they go on to become fucking
CFO or CEO
Yes.
of another of a pharmaceutical company.
Yes, there's a fucking revolving door, and it's evil. That shit should not be legal.
I agree.
It's crazy that they're allowed to do that.
Well, how do we stop that kind of stuff, though? How do you, as like a regular person, I mean, it's just like,
You can't. A regular person can't. Well, you can get the voice out to all these people. That these people, look, if anything we learned from the pandemic, you can't trust these people. You cannot trust everything they say as being fact. You just can't. There's another thing that got released today about reproductive repercussions of the COVID vaccine. I'll find that for you. Because there's people that have been talking about this, that they're just now, they're finding out that there absolutely is negative side effects for women that are pregnant, for women's reproductive health, for
well, I'll tell you this, Joe.
see if you can find that. This
You
is
know-
something I think it came from the UK. It just got released today.
I remember, I grew up in an environment where Tulane University, I've told you this before, they had their primate testing facility in our town, right?
Yeah.
And a bunch of chimps got out once, and we got to help the police go get them, right? I told you about that.
Yeah.
But that's where they tested the polio vaccine, right? That's where they made it.
Mm-hmm.
And it caused cancer in a lot of women, like in their cervical cancer, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
But they'd already made it. And they're like, it'll stop polio. But some women will get so they just released it.
Did you know that polio, 95% of people get polio is asymptomatic?
So what does that mean?
I'm reading this book about this. That might not be true. So I need to make sure that this book is accurate. But what they're basically saying in this book is that a lot of the cases of polio that we talk about from back in the day, DDT was in widespread use back then. Widespread use as a pesticide. And they were using DDT to kill bugs that they thought carried diseases. But the problem is DDT exposure is insanely toxic. Now we know that. Now DDT, they don't use it anymore in America.
Yeah.
But they still use it in other countries where polio-like symptoms are very prevalent. One of the side effects, one of the effects of DDT poisoning is polio-like symptoms. I think it's called encephalopathy. See what that is. DDT side effects.
We didn't have a lot of polio, I don't think, in our area.
Well, polio was something that was going on in the early part of the 20th century. And it's widely credited that the polio vaccine is what stopped that. I used to wholesale believe that until this pandemic, and now I question everything. Now I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what the truth is, whether it's smallpox or polio. I have a feeling that there's a lot more to the story than what the general narrative is that we've been given. They said vaccines are this amazing cure. I think there's a lot of other factors. And I think one of the other factors was hygiene. And the book is called Dissolving Illusions, and it's all about the origins of vaccines and what vaccines have done to stop disease spread and what the negative side effects.
Die with dishonor,
It's like,
hellspawn.
there's a lot of negative side effects, man. And to pretend that it's safe and effective, like when you're administering things to millions, if not hundreds of millions of people, there's going to be some problems, and they don't want to advertise those problems. And they don't want to make those problems publicly known.
Oh yeah, there's
wanna
side
dismiss
effects.
them.
Yeah, you can't whisper, you can't see far. There's all kind of fucking side effects. Dude, we had a guy who broke into Walgreens and did like 7.
It's your day to die.
He was addicted to the fucking COVID vaccine. He did like 7 inoculations.
I got a lady in my neighborhood that keeps getting boosted. The doctor told her
Stench
stop
of
getting
rot offends me.
Doctor's like, no. She's like, I gotta go to LA. I need to get boosted. The doctor's like, it's enough. It's enough.
This is most of the side effects I can find.
Okay. DDT at low environmental doses are unknown. Following exposure to high doses, human symptoms can include vomiting, tremors, or shakiness, and seizures. Laboratory animals showed side effects in liver and reproduction. DDT is considered
your
possible
death,
human
demon!
carcinogen. In his book, they were talking about paralysis, all sorts of issues.
A lot of laboratory animals are pussies, though, aren't they?
It's estimated that 95 to 99% of people who contract
Akio
polio
says
virus
die.
are asymptomatic. Isn't that wild?
Wow. So
Yeah.
what does that mean? You don't even know you had it.
Right. It's not. Doesn't affect you. Your body fights it off.
That was the same for me. I remember I came here and got tested for COVID by you guys, and I had the antibodies.
Yeah, you had it and you
I
didn't
am
even know.
just getting warmed
That was a
up.
lot of people with COVID. But I think that's
Chop
people
you up
that are
and
healthy.
feed you to the
I
monkeys.
think that's people that got exposed to it. I know I got exposed to it because my whole family got it. My wife got it, both my kids got it, and I was at home.
Akio!
I didn't protect myself at all because I was like, they seem okay. I'm healthy as fuck. I'm like, let's see what happens. And I never got it. And I didn't protect myself at all.
That's
I
it.
had sex with my
Come to
wife.
your ultrasound.
I hugged my kids. My wife was like, you're going to get it. I hold my breath.
Line up
Like,
and die, demon.
it was one of those things where I was trying to see, and there was 2 days where I worked out. 2 days. And during those days where I was working out, I was like, ooh, I feel weak. And so I just like broke a sweat. I just didn't push myself. I just gently worked out. I did like 35-pound kettlebells, nothing crazy. I went through like a mobility workout. I did it 2 days in a row. And then the third day, I felt fucking great.
Yeah.
The third day, my body was like, let's go. And I had a hard workout the third day. And I'm like, all right, whatever it is, I didn't get it. And I didn't even have antibodies. I had nothing. I got tested for antibodies, like nothing. So I know I was exposed to it, but my body completely fought it off. And then the time that I did get it, we had flown to Florida. We did a gig, and then we flew to I think it was Orlando. Did another gig. We're doing arenas, right? And it's in the round, so it's a COVID spray. People just spraying COVID at you, laughing, cheering shit. And then I went out with my friend John Showman, and I had like 5 margaritas. We played pool till 3:30 in the morning.
Oh, wow.
And you know, pool is intense for me. I play serious pool, and there's a lot of concentration and a lot. And I was tired. And that night, I was like, God, damn, I don't feel like shit.
You was tired?
But I thought I was just hungover and drunk. I thought it was like, oh God, I gotta go to bed. And I woke up in the morning. I'm like, I don't feel right. I felt off. You know, I just
And you
felt
think
off.
it was COVID?
100% it was COVID.
Yeah.
And then that night I did an arena, no problem, killed, great show. And then flying back that night, I was really cold. I was like, is it cold in this plane? And Tony was like, no, it's not. I'm like, no, I feel like shit.
Yeah.
And so when I landed, I called my wife. I go, I don't know, probably nothing's going on, but I feel like shit, so maybe we should sleep in different rooms. And then I got tested in the morning. Turned out that I had it. I was sweating all night. Like that night, I was like very sweaty. And then the next day, got the IVs. The day after, felt pretty good. The day after that, I made that video. And then fucking CNN accused me of taking veterinary medicine. They didn't like the
Remember?
fact that I got better quick.
Dude, I took steroids in high school. I'll take fucking whatever horses are taking. Horses are doing great, first of all. You fucking seen you know how many horses are looking awesome?
They do look great.
Yeah, dude, what the fuck?
But not only that, that medication is not horse dewormer. It's literally a human medication that's been prescribed to billions.
Agreed. It's a
billions
dumb
of
fucking
doses
way
of
for them to. It's just fucking shitty news.
It's not just shitty news. It's propaganda that they did on behalf of the pharmaceutical companies.
Agreed.
They did it under the guise that they're a news organization.
But how do they get so many people to? That's why I'm like, how does a medical group get so many people to believe that?
Simple.
that they shut their businesses down and everything. Like it's
They
like
had to. They had to. I mean, if the government of L.A. or the government of California tells you have to shut your business down, you have to shut your business down.
Go ahead.
that
And
was
to people
crazy.
like me who got COVID and got over it very quickly, that's infuriating. Because I have had the flu that lasted a lot longer than that.
yeah,
Like with the right medications, you can get over it. But they didn't want anybody knowing that.
Right.
That's why they were trying to limit monoclonal antibodies. They didn't want people just taking that because you just get right better.
yeah. I mean, but yeah, that's one cool. That's one cool thing that Bobby knows about. He knows about a lot of that stuff.
Oh my God, he's the best source of information about that stuff ever. Because he's so brilliant, he can just recite it at any point. Like you can bring it up and he'll explain to you what the actual test said versus like the actual test when they said the vaccine was 100% effective. Do you know how they did that? Because two people, I think the way it was like two people in the placebo group got COVID, one person in the vaccine group got COVID. So it's double, which means it's 100% effective. It was something stupid like that. Like their measurement of 100% effective is so dishonest.
Yeah.
It's sneaky. It's like they're technically allowed to say things that way.
Right.
But like when they were saying things like it stops transmission, they had to admit one of the CEOs of Pfizer, one of the head executives, had to give some speech at I think it was the UK Parliament, and they had to explain that there was no testing done of whether they'd never tested to see if it stopped transmission. They only tested to see if it gave antibodies, and it did. But all that other stuff was horseshit. You know, like when Rachel Maddow's on TV going, it's going to stop that virus in its tracks. The virus ends with you. You can't affect anyone. You can't get infected. It's a lie. That was a lie, and no one's being punished for that. And they'll say that Bobby Kennedy is spreading misinformation, where everything he said you can verify. Everything he said is true. But there's no money in agreeing with him. The amount of money that these news organizations, supposed news organizations, get from being on the side of the pharmaceutical companies and being in their good graces is fucking millions and millions of dollars in advertising revenue. And they have a very specific mandate. And so does YouTube. And that's why YouTube pulled your video.
Yeah. I mean, it was shocking to me because the videos had been up for a long time. You know, the clips had been up for a year. And then, yeah, they hit us up and we're like, yeah, we have to take these down because they spread
What was the specific thing?
COVID misinformation. The specific thing that they said about it.
Yeah, what was the specific subject that Bobby brought up that they said was misinformation?
Let me see if I can find it.
Because a lot of the things that they used to pull videos for back in the day, they don't pull anymore.
It was, let me see, Bobby Kennedy Jr. on Dr. Fauci. Trump called for a meeting with Bobby Kennedy Jr. about vaccines, and Trump and Dr. Fauci met with Bobby Kennedy Jr. about vaccines. Those three clips. But I just thought it was interesting that, like, for the timing for me was really interesting. I mean, I was upset.
How long ago was this they pulled it?
2 weeks ago.
Really?
Week and a half ago.
Really?
So they'd been up for a long time. So it made me think, like, well, why now? But it also could just be...
He's running for president. That's why.
That's what I first thought. And that's probably
Yeah.
what I do think. It could be also, I don't know how the algorithm works, if his name is getting propelled more, so then it makes clips more prominent, so then they see them. Yeah, I'm in. You know I'm in. But here's, I mean, the thing that upset me the most was that a lot of, I don't know, so many addicts died from all the AA rooms, all the sobriety rooms, all the recovery, all the 12
Everything got shut down.
Shut down. And so the number of people that died from that
Yeah.
is more than the number of people that died from COVID.
Well, how about the number of people that died that didn't get diagnosed? Oh, you covered your face. I like what you did there.
I like to fucking get in there, bitch.
You got in there. You got in
I'm
there.
fucking getting in there, boy. I'll come in this fucking thing.
I mean, don't do that.
Sorry.
So
Yeah,
many
well,
people.
why?
So many people died from.
Dude, what's the
a bunch of different things because of it.
Do you think this is the gayest way you could jerk off? If you lay on your back, right? And
Yeah.
jerk off with your legs in the air.
No, I watched a monkey jerk off into his own mouth. I think that's the gayest way.
Oh.
The monkey was hanging from his feet, and he jacked off into his own mouth.
Was he stuck somewhere? Was he trapped?
No,
or
he was having a
something?
good time.
Oh yeah, that's crazy, dude.
He wasn't stuck.
Oh, yeah. If you're in an avalanche or something, I could see you having a snack.
No,
But I think if you're
I think
just
you leave
like-
it in your body.
I don't know, dude.
I don't
If
think
you're
that's a
stuck
good snack.
somewhere,
Yeah.
You're
The last
telling me
thing
you're
was
stuck in
gonna
an
die,
avalanche.
and people are gonna find you. I think he ate his own cum before he died.
I'd
That's
write
gonna
a
be a
note.
thing that people try to hide.
I'd write a note that says I only had a little. That's what I would put on it. I think. But I'm not dying on an empty stomach. You know, you'd have to have something. You gotta have something, Joe. Bro, you're dying. You've been trapped for 4 days in an avalanche.
You think that jerking off in your own mouth is gonna give you some form of relief?
I think it's gonna buy you another afternoon of being
A
alive.
whole afternoon from a load? What kind of loads are you shooting? What kind of Peter North size
I'm
loads
just saying.
are you chugging down? Jesus Christ. I don't think it works that way.
Oh, I think
Buy you a whole afternoon?
that's fucking wiener wine at that point. If you're stuck in an avalanche,
Like if you
dude,
had like a radio, like, okay, this is gonna sound crazy, but to buy yourself a whole nother afternoon, Theo, I'm gonna need you to jerk off in your mouth. No.
ah, come on, man, you've changed.
You just reminded me of this video.
Oh my God, I saw
See
this guy. Yeah.
He's skiing and he sees something sticking up out of the snow. And it's a snowboard flipped upside down.
Oh, is there a person in
Good
there?
timing. I was getting dry.
He starts.
I am just getting
Hey,
warmed up.
can you hear me? You know, like the guy sort of answers to him.
Oh, there's a lot of guys will meet up anywhere.
Oh my God, the guy's alive in there?
Completely upside down.
You haven't seen this show?
No, I thought this was a different one that I saw.
I would dishonor Hellspawn.
He luckily had
Oh my
everything he
God.
needed. He had a shovel in his bag.
And there's no way if you don't test this dude's breath
This guy?
that it doesn't. No.
Oh my God, the
guy he
snowboarder
finds.
is on his way to be dead. He's on his way to be dead.
Die, monkey thief.
How did he find this guy?
Dude, the way he look, I'll show you right how he sees it too. I'll go back.
Many of them? Haha, not enough.
Skiing with a friend, and it's thick powder. He's probably worried about his own life,
For sure.
and then all of a sudden, I think,
Oh, he sees the little board right there.
yeah,
They swarm like Yomi no Kuni.
That's insane.
What are the
What are the
odds?
odds? Oh my
yeah. What
God.
if they didn't go there?
So scoot ahead to see him pull the dude out.
You're right.
I think
Back. I'm gonna help dig you out, okay? Thank you. Yeah, no problem, man.
Thank you. Oh my
Thank
God,
you.
this guy was done.
Guy's polite.
Let's get a little more snow away from your mouth.
there's his mouth.
Oh my God.
Oh. Bro, it must feel like being reborn. It must be exactly what it's like to
Send you all
be
to your
born.
grave.
Look at this guy. He is deep under that shit. He was probably out cold. What did he breathe?
I don't.
It must have happened like minutes before.
Yeah, I haven't read any sort of like follow up on like how long that guy was there. 'Cause this has happened. This happens. There's other stories I found trying to find this one even.
How long can somebody breathe under snow, I wonder?
Yeah, the other one I found, the guy said he'd been there for 6 hours.
Oh my God.
So air must be able to get in there then, huh?
I don't know. I mean, I guess like wherever your space is, that the creation of space from your head going under and then the snow covering. Maybe it's not perfect. There's some air.
Like maybe if you make as much space as you can when you're in there.
How much air can you get?
If you had a
That
plant
guy was
with you,
covered. And he was upside down.
After him.
small plant or something. How long does it take a
We'll
plant to make
destroy.
air, oxygen? Do you think?
You have to have like a little flower pot with you.
Yeah, I mean,
Does it work like that?
don't use it all up so fast, but I would do.
Do a little sips.
Yeah.
Like water, if you're in the desert, just take a little sip every now and again. Man, what are the odds of that guy staying
Meet your
alive?
death, Timon.
Oh
He's
man,
got a new lease on life. That's a fucked up way to go, too. Because he was conscious under that.
it's scary.
Fuck yeah, it is.
Being alive feels scary sometimes, doesn't it?
Just regular?
Yeah.
You know? How so?
Just like I feel like it just,
You are small.
just feels kind of like
Hey, Timon.
I don't know. It just feels a little spooky.
Really?
I think so sometimes.
Sometimes. Like right now?
I think you have moments where you realize you're alive. You ever have like moments like that, like real like moments you're like, holy shit, I'm fucking alive.
Yeah.
It like hits you in a weird way. You're like, I'm fucking alive. Like what the hell? And then it's almost like the same when you have those feelings like, oh my gosh, one day I'm not gonna be alive. It's that same sort of like.
That's a weird one.
And it gets so like, there's just sometimes it drops into your body and you can really feel it.
You are all going to die.
Dude, you think the wind, do you think we could ever decipher the wind? Like the wind, like, you think the wind is ever trying to tell us something and we don't know how to hear it anymore?
No,
I don't think at all.
The wind is just the wind. I don't think the wind is trying to tell you something. Maybe the earth is trying to tell you something.
But do you think the earth might use the wind to try to tell us something? Because how else would it tell us something?
Well, it'll definitely be telling you something if you're an animal, that storms are coming.
Right, right. So if it tells you that, it could easily give you other information.
Maybe. I think really you're learning it from the animals, though, who know it from the conditions. There's like certain parts of the world where when storms are coming, like the birds just stop chirping, everything gets real quiet, and then people kind of know, uh-oh. They've learned to know when the animals behave a certain way that a storm is coming. Can you imagine what it was like back in the day? We had no idea when a hurricane was coming. You're just like living on some seaside town. Everything seems fine. About to go to bed.
You're just whistling to your wife, like, she's like, play me a tune, Danny.
Where are my comrades?
And the sky becomes an angry monster who tears houses apart. That's the sky. That's the wind talking to you. That's the wind. Hey,
Dude, they used to have some dudes that would get out there and try to let the. You think the wind could jerk you? You think the wind could make you ejaculate if it were powerful enough?
I think you're horny. I think you're just thinking about cum a lot. You got a lady friend?
Nope.
Maybe that's what's going on.
Yeah, I just went on vacation by myself.
Whoa, by yourself? Solo?
Yeah.
Where'd you go?
Maui.
Really? What do you do when you go on vacation by yourself?
Just get up early, go to sleep early. I was trying to get like my circadian clock or
Line
something.
up and die, demons.
Yeah. Where did you go to, like Four Seasons or something?
Yes.
And just hang out by yourself? Did you go by the pool? What do you do?
By the pool, went in the beach. What else did I do?
Did people weird out by you? Like, hey, are you Theo Vaughn?
Corporal
people.
punishment.
Yeah.
Meet a lot of
And
people.
they're like, what are you doing? Like, oh, I'm on vacation by myself.
You
And
know,
they're
weird.
like, no. Okay. You don't have friends or family or something? What made you decide to go to Maui by yourself?
This is Pacquiao's day.
Well, sometimes I like to have time by myself. I don't get it. I mean, I guess I get a lot of time by myself, but I wanted to have nothing to do.
Right.
And I wanted to go and get like in the beach where I feel like it's like there's something magical about the beach, you know. It's like this is where Mother Nature's really fucking,
Yeah.
she's dialing up the
So,
good
but what
shit.
was the thought process? You're sitting in front of your computer, you're like Googling places to go.
I need a vacation.
By yourself. Have you ever done that before?
Blood, gore, and victory.
I never done that before.
This is my first one by myself.
Yeah.
So I thought, yeah, I just said I need a vacation. And then I was like, well, if I told myself I'm going to give myself a vacation, I need to make sure I do it so that I'm not like building up this bad story with myself where I tell myself I'm going to do something.
Line up and die, demons.
So, yeah, I went on and I had a nice time.
By yourself.
Yeah. Relaxed. A lot of Filipinos over there. You know a lot of Hawaiians are low-key Filipinos?
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh, it's remarkable,
Meet
man.
your death,
I met
demons.
so many Filipinos, man. They're great, huh?
Oh, I love Filipinos.
Fuck, they're good.
Well, you know, I
How
play a
do they
lot of
do
pool.
it?
They're just friendly people, man.
Oh.
Real friendly people.
If I die, or if whenever I die, if I die,
Die with
I am
dishonor
going
elsewhere.
to. I want the last person I see to be
Really?
easily. Who do you want to see? You think?
Why Filipino?
You telling me you're dying, right? You're
Right.
Hey guys,
And
hurry.
then some guy's like, "Hello, my name's Joey." My name's
Joey's a common Filipino name.
Joey, yeah.
Yeah.
Or Sonny. They have like kind
Sonny?
of easy
Yeah.
names, you know.
Yeah, friendly names.
Happy names, yeah.
Happy names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's fine. You'd be like,
Corporal
okay.
punishment.
They're some of the best pool players in the world.
Are they really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the American GIs went
Chop
over
you up
to
and feed you to the
Philippines
monkeys.
in, I think it was the 1950s, after World War II. And they introduced them to pool. I think that's how it happened. American pool.
God, they're so good. I mean, I don't know. I think
It's
that
huge over there.
the playing pool
Oh
is.
my God, yeah. The real famous pool players, they're famous like
Your stench
like
of rot
a
of
pro
envy.
baseball player is famous over here. Like Efren
This
Reyes,
is
he's
Pacquiao's
a
day.
celebrity in the Philippines. Like the greatest pool player of all time. He's from the Philippines.
Yeah, they make me I think they just make me the happiest when I see them. There's something just so like warm and accepting about them.
Well, especially just island people in general.
Yeah.
Like when you go to Hawaii,
I am just getting warmed up.
They know how to live. They know how to live. They're living in paradise. You're walking around in flip flops. Like, it's fine. Everything's gonna be cool.
Yeah, everything's
How many
fine.
zombies does it
Everything's
take to kill
cool. I
Pacquiao?
love Maui.
Yeah.
It's great.
Well, you told me about it before, I
Yeah.
think. And you told me to even stay at that hotel.
Yeah, it's great.
You know?
Right, but Duncan went there, and when Duncan was there, somebody got ate by a shark. Oh yeah, yeah. Not even like that far away from the resort.
I did snorkeling and it was very alarming.
Pacquiao
It's
says
spooky.
die.
Snorkeling is.
Did you see that video of the dude in a kayak that gets attacked by a tiger shark while he's on a kayak? Bro, this dude's fishing on a kayak, a little kayak, like the size of this fucking table. And this tiger shark just comes zipping at him and takes a. Check this out. Watch this. Give me some volume. Look at it. Ooh! Holy shit, bro. Watch that again. Watch this again. Watch this motherfucker sneak up on him. He's just chilling. This is off Oahu. Look at it coming.
Damn.
Bro, fuck that.
You see that?
shark ran me.
Ram you.
Yeah.
Bro, that motherfucker bit you. He bit your boat. Look at it biting the boat, man.
That thing doesn't give a fuck, dude. They'll eat anything.
They're so vicious. Those are the ones that bite people.
Some kid just jumped off a ship the other day into the water.
Oh, yeah, he fell overboard, right?
He jumped. Apparently, it was a dayer. This guy was out of Baton Rouge, actually.
Was it on like a cruise ship?
Yeah, it was like
Is he dead?
He disappeared. Yeah.
Be gone, foul creatures.
So he's either. Yeah. Would you rather being disappeared is kind of interesting because you could come back.
I don't think he disappeared. I think he drowned.
Well, some people say they thought in part of the video they thought they see a shark.
It's your day to die.
You see the video?
In the middle of the ocean? You know, most fish are around the middle. Most fish are within like 200 miles of shore.
I believe that.
Yeah.
But where else
Most
would you
of the
go?
open area, like when you go deep in the middle of the ocean, there ain't shit out there.
Nothing's out there.
Yeah, it's like the desert.
Oh yeah, huh?
Yeah.
It's like the wet desert.
I think that's true. But Google that. The majority of fish are 200 miles from shore. I'm pretty sure that's true.
Pacquiao
I've
says
seen
die.
a fish way out there before.
Fuck those tiger sharks, though, right? Fuck those things. That's one of the ones that got the person that when Duncan was staying.
Oh yeah, look, dude, I started snorkeling, and so finally I realized like there wasn't even any fish there. I was like, this is bad, and the water would lift you up, and then it would like set you down like in a bunch of rocks, and I'm like, this is real scary. So I had to come back in, and I knew it was weird because like the lifeguards were looking at me. I was like, oh,
You're getting out there.
yeah, I was like, it is.
People get out there, man.
I am
You watch
just
them
getting
swim out
warmed up.
there, and you know some dude from fucking Cleveland can't play him on the ocean. And he's out there deep. Like,
this
bro,
water's wet as
You
heck.
can get jacked. You can get jacked by a fucking ocean werewolf. That tiger shark is an ocean werewolf.
Your day to die.
And that thing just leaped out of the water and bit that dude's boat. Fuck, man. I mean, what did it think that was? Like, people say, oh, it thought you were a seal. That did not think that was a seal. That
Yeah.
thing probably thought it was a boat. There's a person on the boat. I'd like to eat that.
Die
person.
with
Well,
dishonor,
nature's fucking
hellspawn.
probably getting pissed after all the shit that has been happening to Mother Nature. That she's gonna send animals. She's gonna send weather. She's gonna send storms. She's gonna send snow to try to kill that guy. I believe that
Line up and die,
Mother
demon.
Nature's gonna have a play in all of this.
Why does Mother Nature go after the sacrifice?
Hopefully she'll get to him.
How would she get to him?
I don't know. I fucking hate those people so much. Bro.
Yeah, it's evil.
It's evil, man.
They're just bawling. Just
This
looking
is
caviar,
Pacquiao's
driving
day.
Rolls Royces.
But they don't have any feelings.
Well, I think what happens with people when they're a part of something really big, it's called the diffusion of responsibility because there's so many people there. Like they say that if you're in a crowded area and someone gets jumped by someone, and someone's beating that person up, you feel less likely. You feel like you don't have anything to do with it. You don't have to intervene. There's so many other people there, they're not going to do it. If you're not going to do it, they're not going to do it. It's a diffusion of responsibility. So many
Meet your death,
But if it
demon.
was just you and another person, that person was getting attacked, and they're like, help me, you would
many
feel
zombies does
compelled
it
to
take
help
to kill
because it's
Takeo?
only you. I think when you're a part of an enormous corporation that has thousands of employees that's doing evil shit like this,
Dine on lead this day.
I think you just think you're a part of a thing, and you think you could probably dismiss it by saying, well, for most people, this provides them the needed relief from pain, and if used correctly, there's not an issue.
Be
But
gone, foul
it's an
creature.
incredibly dangerous drug, and it's an incredibly dangerous drug that's given out far too frequently, far too easily, and I know this from my own personal experience. I had
Still
my
not enough for you
nose
to
fixed.
stop me.
I had a deviated septum, and the guy
I'll send
fixed
you
my
all to your
nose, and he
grave.
wakes me up, after after you go under, and I have these things stuffed in my nose, my nostrils stuffed up, and he
Now
offers
you will
me
walk on
2
the
different
sleeping dragon.
painkillers.
Oh,
He
dang.
writes me a prescription for 2 different painkillers. I go, well, how painful is this going to
More
get?
that come. More
And
that
he goes,
fall.
well, a lot of people find it very painful and a lot of discomfort, and this will help you. And I go, but is it going to get more uncomfortable than right now? And he's like, well, how do you feel right now? I go, I feel fine. Like, it's not even hurt. And I'm like, okay.
Line up
He
and
goes, well, I
die,
really think you
demon.
should fill these. Because otherwise, if you need it, you're not going to have anything, you're going to be miserable. I'm like, okay. So I did, and I went home, and I waited, and I'm like, I don't feel bad at all. Like, I feel fine. And after a certain amount of
your
time,
death,
you
demon.
take the things out of your nose, and they had stuck these
More the
plastic
merrier,
splints in my nose
Oh,
to keep.
yeah.
They remove all that stuff, and I never took anything, and I never felt pain. But this guy had given me this stuff, and he
gone,
gave me
foul
2
creatures.
different ones. And he was a really good doctor. It's not like he was a fucking quack. If I decided to just start popping them, I'd be like, hey man, I need it. I got an operation. I need it.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, there's
I bought
nothing.
a Corvette.
Yeah, there was
Let
nothing
this
wrong with
day.
me. Like, I was fine. Like, after the operation, after I woke up from the anesthesia, I mean, didn't feel great, but it wasn't like I'm in agony.
Yeah.
So they're just giving me oxycodone,
Out of my face.
Yeah.
and I'm not even hurt. It's not like, I need something. Give me something for the pain. I'm like, I'm in agony. He was like, how do you feel? I go, I feel pretty good. Like, I wasn't being a tough guy. I was like, there's nothing here.
Yeah.
It's like a mild discomfort, and most of the discomfort was because my nose was stuffed with
your
these
day to die.
sponges
Yeah, yeah.
and tubes. They give you like plastic straws that poke out of the bottom of your nose and dripping down onto the upper lip.
All going to die.
Yeah, but it wasn't that bad. It was barely a problem.
Yeah, well, look, I think they just give them out, and people now are so used to we're really comfortable just taking whatever's going to make us check out.
Chop
for a
you up
minute.
and feed you to the monkeys.
That's the reality.
That's the
right?
reality.
That's the reality.
And that's what you have guys like Ryan Holiday. Did he come in here?
Run,
Yeah.
go on,
Where you have
victory.
guys that talk a lot about like that moment where you choose between what's comfortable
Yes.
or what is easy, and this other like more long-term thing. What is
Yeah.
the long? And we've just gotten very
I am just
used
getting
to
warmed
taking
up.
that easy thing.
Yeah.
And it's some of that is also just us getting acclimated to technology and advancements, and a lot of those things are good for us, and so we're used to that. You know?
Well, a lot of people have a really hard time delaying,
Corporal punishment.
which is why they overeat, which is
yeah.
why they don't exercise, which is why they take pills. They want it now.
Jerking off, even
Yeah?
the number one.
Is that your number one?
I mean, it has definitely for my 20s.
Do you try not to look at porn?
Yeah.
How'd that
Takeo
go?
says die.
I mean, it's gone better. If I'm real honest with you. I'll say this though, I do believe, and there's probably a lot of men that if you lay on your back and masturbate, have you done this?
I like how you just pointed at him.
Yeah, where you're going.
Where's he going?
If you lay on your back and jerk off with your legs in the air,
You keep saying this. Have you actually been
Yes,
doing
I
it?
don't know that I've
No,
done that.
I saw it. Somebody drew
my
it somewhere, and I saw it.
Someone drew it like a diagram. This is the gayest thing ever.
That's it.
I'm just saying.
Something about feet up in the air, whack it off.
You guys need to get your lives together.
Yeah,
man.
we do. I'm learning from you.
You guys are
Please
changed.
tell me more.
You guys have changed a lot. I'm just saying, if we could decipher the wind, we would figure all this out.
Maybe it's the Earth itself is trying to give us messages.
On
We
the
gotta listen.
Chikoku, away.
What's this? What is Biden doing? He fell down again?
Yeah.
Is this today?
Yeah.
Okay. I can't anymore.
Well, here's the sad thing, man.
I
And I
can't.
say this because, look, my dad was 70 when I was born. My dad was an old man.
Yeah.
So I grew up around a lot of, like, environments where sometimes people would take advantage of my dad
I
because
would
he was
dishonor
old.
But
Hellspawn.
he just fell. He didn't even fall for a reason. He
Right,
just
but it's just
fell.
not fair. Like, at a certain point, you can't. It's not cool for old. It's not cool to old people to do that to them.
No.
Like, he doesn't know this is happening to him.
Yeah, but he kind of does, and he's kind of a cunt.
Well, that could be true, but he doesn't know.
He's always been a cunt, though. You go back and listen to that guy lying about his education record and lying about his accomplishments, and he's always been a problem.
Yeah, politician. That whole.
Yeah.
It's a fucking.
And also all the fucking stuff with his son and the ties to Ukraine and China and the money, the family they got paid millions of dollars, and everyone's trying to obscure it because, well, it's better than Trump. Better than Trump. If that guy was a Republican, they would be up his ass with a microscope.
I know it is unbelievable.
But he represents what they thought was like a sane alternative to what President Trump was.
Yeah.
They thought, this is insane. Donald Trump is the president? Fuck that. Anything's better than him. And so they went with this corrupt career politician.
Yeah.
I mean, it's wild stuff, man. They even got the FBI involved in telling Twitter to censor the
that was
information about the
unbelievable.
laptop. It's crazy.
But how do we get out of that space? How do we? Because we're starting to turn into one of those kind of like Central American countries where the government is so like it's crazy. It used to be a long time ago, like if the secrets of our country got out, like during Watergate or whatever, right? People were like, fuck no. But now, if the secrets get out, people are like, fuck yes, tell us what's going. You know what I'm saying? It's interesting how that's kind of changed. Like, before it would be like if any like top secret documents or whatever were released, it would seem like wrong.
Well,
But now, if they're released, we want to know what it is. It's like, does that make any sense?
Be gone, foul
well,
creature.
when was top secret documents released that
Chop
are
you up and feed
showing
you to the
that
monkeys.
someone is behaving in an illegal way, where it's bad? I mean, Watergate. That was what Watergate was about.
Yeah.
They found out that Nixon was spying. I mean, I think the problem is that, first of all, the media is overwhelmingly left-leaning. And if you have a left-leaning politician or a left-wing Democratic politician, and then you have this media that essentially works to support that person, I mean, they ignore any information that leads to distrust in the government or distrust in this administration or distrust in this party, this political party.
Yeah. It's the dark arts, man.
It is the dark. That's the real dark arts.
It really is. And you know what? What I think one thing that we need, I think, would be nice. What if there? I wish there was an app, right? And everybody has an app idea. But I wish there was an app where, when you went to a business, you could tell where they put their political money, right? So then it would start to affect the bottom lines of companies. So then those companies would stop. Because I think you have to get
Well,
business.
look what that's going on right now with all the woke shit. Like Target lost billions of dollars because they tried to have this pride selection.
Oh yeah, gay mannequins,
Yeah, they had all these like pride children's shirts and
gay children.
yeah, and then
Sorry.
obviously the Bud Light thing with Dylan Mulvaney. They've lost $20+ billion. Can you imagine? You're just gonna send
just getting
a
warmed up.
fucking can to some confused person that day 365 of womanhood, and you send that person a fucking can with their face on, and your company loses $20 billion.
I'll send you
That
all
is
to your grave.
wild shit, man. So we're seeing that now, where we never saw that before, where people are going, enough,
Right.
enough. Stop shoving this down everybody's throat. When I go to Target, I don't want to see like
Line up
fucking
and die,
tuck pants where you like they're designed to help you tuck your dick. Like, hey, that's not normal. And I don't want that right in front of everybody.
Yeah.
It's
I don't want to
weird.
see a diaper for a baby where they can hide his dick under it or whatever.
Yeah. I don't think they have those, but
Why
But
wouldn't
yeah.
they? Will soon.
they might. But there's a lot of just fucking real weirdness with this group of people that is trying to like change the way people view sexuality and gender and all these different. It's like they're proselytizing. It's not as simple as they're.
You would stop that at the I would think you would stop that. Say if they had an application where I could say, okay, I'm going to go buy coffee, I'm going to go buy a hat, I'm going to buy a corset, whatever I want to get.
Line up and die,
And
demons.
I can look on this app first.
I'm just picturing you with a cup of coffee, a hat, and a corset.
Yeah, dude, whatever, dude. You got to fucking look out for yourself, dude.
I'm picturing you buck naked, with a corset on,
Whoa,
drinking a cup of
dude.
coffee with a hat on,
I'm fully
jerking
clothed,
off
bro.
with your feet in the air.
Hey, bro. Hey, dude.
You've changed.
No,
you
bro.
fucking changed, bro.
You got the fucking wrong idea, dude. What's in these?
A
You
lot.
got the- yeah, you
Take
got
another
the-
sip of that. Get yourself right.
But
Take
if
a
there was
sniff.
an app, though, that's what I want. An app where I say, if I support this company, right,
Right,
with
what does
my
that company
money,
support?
what does that company support? Because
Right.
then I think you're going to get a lot of people are going to be able to support, at least put their money
Of my faith.
where their beliefs are.
I think there's a thing like that. There's there's an app
There's
that
a right-
shows like America, like supported America apps.
Born of
Yeah,
Jericho,
but
There's
you
like-
need you need an even one. You need one that's like, but for both, you need one that's down the middle. You know.
Well, there's a lot of companies
I am
now
just
that are
getting
like
warmed up.
really emphasizing American made.
Yeah.
I wonder if these Velopals are American made. I'm a part of a company called Origin, and Origin produces. They make everything in America. Everything they make, except for like one or two items that they're very transparent about it. Like some of the parts of the sole of the shoe, the boots that they make, these handmade boots, are made in South America. But everything else, all the fabric, all the thread, all the workers, all the machines, everything is
Akio
made in
says,
America.
"Die!"
They make hunting gear. They make these great stretchy jeans. They make great handmade boots, like real high quality
I like
stuff.
a boot.
They make jujitsu gis. Origin, check out Origin. They're the shit.
which
It's
is
all
on our
American
hell's
made.
fault.
Jocko's a big part of it. He's the one who brought me in on the company.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Cam Haynes is a part of the company now too. This is the first American-made hunting apparel company, because even though hunting is like this great American pastime, a lot of the clothing that they're making is made from China. A lot of the textiles, a lot of the stuff is made from China.
I went turkey hunting
I saw.
since I saw you last, man.
Yeah, who did you go with?
This guy, Michael Waddell.
That's right, Michael Waddell. Michael Waddell's a legend.
Touch me, and I
Yeah,
will
he knows
kill
his
your
shit, man.
king.
He's a fun dude.
Oh, he's a really
He was
fun
great
guy.
on the Meat Eater podcast with Stephen Manella.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was great.
He's just he's very entertaining to be
Very
around.
entertaining.
Yeah, me and this guy Caleb Presley went, and we was just everybody's chasing those gobblers. That's what they call them. Yeah.
Dine on lead this day.
Yeah.
Did you get one?
No, well, what happened was we saw him, right? We did we waited 2 mornings. We didn't get one. Then we're leaving, right? We're driving out, and they're all like, the game's over, the hunt's over, right? You see some turkeys by the side of the road, and they were like in the locker room after the game, like it's
Right.
over, right? One of them has a towel on his neck. One of them's fucking texting his wife, right? Like they're fucking chilling, you know? And
This is you sneaking up on him?
no, this is my buddy Caleb shot one.
Oh, okay. So you didn't wind up getting one. So tell me what happened with the ones that were on the side of the road.
Yeah, they snuck up on him right here, dude. I mean, they're having lunch, like it was over.
oh, so these are the ones that were on the side
Yeah,
of the
they
road.
fucking snuck up on some that were in the locker room, bro.
And
The game
blasted
was
them?
over and fucking killed one of them. Yeah.
Well, that's how it goes. The
I-
game is always on.
Well, see,
As
that's
long as the season's open, the game is on.
and that's what I guess I realized.
Yeah. Every now and then, you catch one slipping.
Yeah, oh, they took this turkey. I mean, its whole head disappeared.
Turkey hunting is like elk hunting in the way where you're trying to get them closer to you. You're calling them in. That's why one of the things that people like about it, it's so exciting. And the turkey's like, is that pussy?
Yeah.
Do I hear pussy? Like they have these
Here we are.
turkey decoys, and they set these turkey decoys up.
They wouldn't let me hold the gun either.
They wouldn't. Why not?
They said it was some issue.
What was the issue?
I'm not sure.
We should take you hog hunting.
Ooh, I want to do it where you get to do it with actual hands-on.
You want to do that?
Yeah.
You know they use dogs with that.
That's fine.
The dogs hold the pig down, and you run up and stab it.
Mm.
I'm so not interested in that. I've been offered to do that too. I'm like,
If we pray
uh-uh.
first, I would do it.
Why would that help?
Just to fucking make it even, you know? I just want to at least let God know what I'm doing.
I think God knows what you're doing. You're out there killing pigs.
All right, well, look, man.
But pigs are one of the best animals to hunt because they are absolutely an invasive species that
Yeah.
has to be controlled.
And I don't
And-
like pigs, I'll say that.
Yeah. I kind of like them. I like them when they're domesticated, but that's not a real pig.
Yeah.
Like pigs are a weird animal, man. If you let them go, Like, do you take a domesticated pig and you let it go? Within 6 weeks, they start to transform. Their snout extends, their hair changes, it gets bigger and bushier. Their tusks grow.
Like werewolves.
Yeah, like a wild pig that you see is essentially a domestic pig that got wild. They're the same animal. That's what's crazy.
Wow.
You know, there's different versions of them, but that's the same animal. Yeah, it's
Now,
all
I would
called
love to have some-
Suscrafa. It's the same genus.
That's the whole group called Suscrafa?
Yeah.
I would love to have some real wild fucking bacon. Do they have boar bacon?
It's not. It's hard to get bacon off of a wild pig because they're not as fat. But agriculture pigs, like pigs that steal from farms, you can get bacon off of them because they're eating people's crops and fattening it up. Some of them are fat as fuck. And acorns. Sometimes I shot one that had eaten a lot of acorns.
Yeah.
And there's like an acorny smell to the fat. Oh my God, they're delicious. Me and John Dudley. We went pig hunting in Tajon Ranch. I shot this pig and we cooked it on the Traeger. Oh my God, it was sensational. It was so good.
Go on, victory.
We slow smoked it on a Traeger. Oh, it was fall off the bone. It was delicious.
God, I will fucking
It was
want.
so good. It was
I love
fatty
some-
and moist and delicious.
I love that.
Ooh, but you got to cook pigs like to a high temperature to avoid trichinosis, especially wild pigs.
Really?
Yeah.
And what is trichinosis? It has what, spiders?
No, trichinosis is like a parasite. And it's really weird, but I think 90% of the cases of trichinosis in North America are from bear. And
How
people
many
eating
zombies
bear.
does it take to kill
You just don't cook it enough. You have to cook bear like you cook bacon. You got to cook it all. When you get like store-bought bacon or store-bought ham, even, you don't have to cook it as much as they used to make it cook it because these animals never come in contact with trichinosis. They're not free-range animals.
Yeah, they're just hiding in like basically a little farm or something.
They get it from eating animals that have it. So if you get trichinosis, you keep trichinosis for your whole life. And if you died and somebody ate you, they would get trichinosis and they didn't cook you.
What if you have a child? Can you transfer it through DNA?
That's my question. I don't know the answer.
Checkmate.
Ooh, yeah, man. Should we end with that? We got to get out of here.
Yeah, let's end,
My
man. Dude, thank you, man. Thank
my
you for
brother. It's always a pleasure to hang with you.
Yeah,
Always good to see
I
you.
had a great time. And
I'm
congratulations on your club.
Thank you. Thanks for being there, man. It was fun. Fun watching you murder last night. It was a good time.
Cool. I'll be around for the next few weeks,
Let's
man.
go, Theo Vaughn. Let's go. All right. Bye, everybody.
Be gone, foul creature.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan podcast by night, all day.
What's up?
What's up, man?
Good seeing you, brother.
Great to be here. Thanks for
And
having me.
thank you for bringing Bruce, and thanks for coming out last night. That was a good time.
I had a great time, man.
For everyone to, like, guys started realizing while you were there your story. Like, the word started getting around the green room. And it was one of those things where, like, what? He just got out 3 weeks ago, wrongfully accused for 30 years, and here he is having a good time. It was a crazy experience to, like, be sharing the green room with you because you could see everybody, like, you became like the celebrity of the green room. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody wanted to hear the story. Everybody wanted to talk to you. Everybody was blown away by it and by the grace that you displayed. Like, the fact that you could be wrongfully accused, spend 30 years of your young life in
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan podcast by night, all day.
Brother, I love you way more than you'll ever love me, and you know that. I told you that last night.
That's a ridiculous thing to say.
You changed my life immeasurably.
You changed mine too. We changed each other's lives. We really did.
Dine on lead this day.
I've been
It's
on,
that I just get too much credit. It's all of us. It's like we did it all together. We all did it together. Without good friends, nobody
That's it.
really
Come to your
succeeds.
officer.
Because you don't appreciate it if it's just you. It's not. It doesn't seem fair. It seems all fucked up. It's like,
I keep saying to people, you gotta surround yourselves with the motherfuckers. Like you if you're talking about your friends as if you're the top dog, then you're with the wrong dudes. Someone said to me, you're always talking like you're not a great comic, that your friends are so much better. I go, they are. Look at who my fucking friends are. Are you fucking kidding me? Like my friends, I surround myself by people that are way better than me. And then I just listen. I'm not listening a lot.
We all rise up together. It's an old expression. The rising tide raises all boats. It really does. It's good for everybody.
I with dishonor,
Like, we got into this because we love comedy, and now we're in it. And when you're in it, it's so scary, and it's so weird, and it's so chaotic, and people are comparing themselves to other people, and it causes all this totally unnecessary conflict.
Yeah.
And if you just remember why you got it in the first place, you got it in the first place because you loved to watch it. And then you did it, and then you got selfish. And you start thinking about yourself. You start thinking about, I want to kill.
This is Takio's day.
Watching where other people are in their career. How come I don't have a 30-minute, half-hour special?
And people get upset with people that they really don't have any conflict with in real life. But in their mind, they associate that person with something negative because they feel bad when they think about them because that person's more successful than them. It makes them feel bad, so they think that person's bad. It's like a weird, selfish way of thinking about stuff. And every comic used to have that back in the day. Dice was talking about how every comic would fuck every comic over, and they would like do something that would fuck up your set. And he was talking about what he did on Dangerfield's Young Comedian special. Someone else on the show wanted to wear a leather jacket the day of, a biker jacket, like the same jacket that Dice wore.
Yeah.
And Rodney stopped it and put the kibosh on it. But the comics would always do that kind of shit to each other.
It was like that when I started. It's not like that. It's way less like that now. Like I feel like the amount of love I've gotten from comics these last couple weeks promoting the movie, the love I've gotten from them has like made me feel good. Like I get really nice texts from people. Even I was telling you, I'm gonna name drop right away. Chappelle was the fucking sweetest guy in the world.
He's the nicest guy of all time.
He was the sweetest guy. I wanted to meet that guy. Joe, I wanted to meet him for so long because he's my favorite. He's like out of all the comics when I moved to New York that I could watch, like it was Chappelle the way he did it. It was like watching jazz, right?
Yeah.
And then Attell was like almost like watching the fucking Fish or like The Dead, and you're like, it's not jazz. I don't know what the fuck that is, but it's totally different. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
Hedberg was like that. Those are the guys. Geraldo. Those were the Patrice.
Right.
But Chappelle was like the great white. I told him that. I said you're like a great white shark. You don't see. Like you walk into a room, you're like, oh fuck, and he was like, man, he was very nice. He goes, you've always spoken very nice about me, and I was like, yeah, that's how it works. Like when you're a cool person, people talk good about you.
Yeah, it should be how it works. But you see people even talking shit about him. I've seen people talk shit about him in comics. It's like, god damn it.
You know what it is? You said it earlier. It's transactional. It's like they think that it's gonna help put them over.
Yeah, it's a weird thing that we all do, because social interaction is very much like a game sometimes. There's like moves, and then there's counter moves, and there's like you're trying to like get a better position. And it's like a little social wrestling match sometimes.
I've seen people do it, like when you're a room full of famous people, there's a couple of types of people. There's people that work the room, and then there's people like me who leave the room. Because I go, this is overwhelming me. This is too weird. I'm going to get too drunk. I'm going to say something fucked up.
It's too weird. It's too weird. I know. It's like, god damn. It's weird to be one. It's weird to be around them.
Yeah.
It's like we've all known each other for so long that like we know each other. Whereas like you meet someone and they're already famous, it's like how much do they even let you in?
Yeah.
It seems like a weird life.
It's funny. I remember when all the fucking ivermectin shit was going on with you, and Georgia was like sitting at the table, and she's on her phone, and she goes, "Oh my god, do you know this guy?" And I went, "Yeah." She goes, "Really?" I said, "You do too, dummy." She goes, "Who is he?" I go, "The guy with the chickens." She goes, "Oh wait, I like that guy." I went, "Yeah, you're looking at your phone like you like," and I think that's what happens. Is like you look at like a celebrity or someone and you brand them with the thing that you think on the outside. I know I've been guilty of it. I talked shit about people before, just fucking around because you just don't think they'll never hear it.
Right.
Like I'll give you a perfect one. I used to say that I think I could beat up Stylebender. If we were drinking, we had to drink the same amount of beers and then get in the cage. We each had to drink 12 beers and get in the cage. And it was a joke. It was a joke. I was fucking around with Tommy. I never thought I'd meet Stylebender. I never thought. That motherfucker rolls up to my show in New Zealand, and first of all, he's way bigger than you think. He's way bigger than you think. Okay, and his hands are huge and they're soft. And the first thing he does, Joe, is he grabs my arm to like dap me up, and he throws a knee, and he grabs me by the back of the neck. He goes, "You still think you can fuck me up?" And I'm like, "I'm so sorry. I'm so." But you know what? You know what? That guy is the coolest motherfucker. Like the coolest. I mean, he's one of my motherfuckers where I go, that he treated everyone as if he wasn't the middleweight champion of the world. He treated him as if he was just some guy that was into comic books and into anime. And he met Jared Hess, the director of Napoleon Dynamite, was at my show. And he geeked out. He was like, "Oh, you did Napoleon Dynamite?" And Jared Hess is going, "This is Israel Adesanya, like holy shit!" And then Joe.
This is Takeo's day.
And Izzy, I'm sorry if I talk too much sometimes. We end up at a bar at like 3 in the fucking morning, and he is. I'm faded. I don't know if he was drinking too much at all. I don't even know if he's drinking.
Go on victory.
But we get pretty lit in a bar at 3 in the morning in New Zealand, and he stands up, and I stand up with him back to back, shirtless, both of us. And we challenge everyone in the bar to a fist. Oh, you have it! Oh, this is...
What are you challenging everyone in the bar?
Who won it?
What are you doing? You're starting fights?
Challenging a bar to fight.
And this is in another country?
Yeah, this is in another country.
Jesus Christ, Bert.
We were fucking... Dude, this motherfucker is the coolest guy in the fucking world. He goes, he stands,
literally is.
He stands up and he goes, who has that?
He's one of the coolest guys that's ever lived.
On his Twitter.
Oh, it's on his Twitter?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Look at this. He goes, he stands up and he goes, and his first words out of his mouth, "I'll kill every motherfucker in the room for this man right here." So then, you know, my shirt comes off. I go, "I'll kill." I thought we were doing a Steve Harvey bit. You ever seen Steve Harvey talk about his wife?
No.
Oh. It'll make you cry because I know how much you love your wife. You know, his wife's name is Marjorie. I thought Stylebender was doing a Steve Harvey bit because Steve Harvey has this moment where he's doing an award show and he hears a song and he goes, "Ooh, I'm having me a moment," and he goes, "That's our song," and then it's a cool moment. He goes, "She's mine."
Come to your
Oh, this is it. This will make you cry, man. I mean, I get emotional watching this.
That's me and my wife's song, too.
Oh.
I met her 86, 87 when the song
Die
came
with
out.
dishonor, hellspawn.
When God gave her
How
back
many
to me in
zombies does it take to kill
2005,
Takeo?
I put her name on the back, man. You understand me. That's mine right there.
Meet your death, demon.
Yeah, I own you and you own me. I will kill everybody in here about your ass. Please understand that about the way I love you, Marjorie Elaine. You understand me? I kill everybody.
Line up and die, demon.
I thought he was doing because he goes, "Ask the Lord about me." I kill every
Now
motherfucker.
you will walk in the sleeping dragon.
That's hilarious. So you thought Stylebender was doing that?
Because Leanne sends me Steve Harvey clips, and she had just sent him, and I thought he must have seen the clip, must be going viral. So I thought he was doing Stylebender, so I go, "I kill every motherfucker in. He's mine, and I'm him." We started going. I thought he was doing Steve Harvey, and so.
Oh my God!
And then we start going table to table, Joe. We go table to table, challenging motherfuckers. Who wants it? Look at these big dudes behind them, these big Samoan guys. We're like, who wants it? Who wants it? And
Bro,
then I
this
end
could
up.
have gone horribly wrong.
I was challenging the female tables exclusively.
What if there was rugby players there or something?
He's the middleweight champion of the world. I'm gonna stand my fucking ground.
Oh my God, that's so dangerous.
We ended up buying the whole bar shots.
Oh, that's good.
3 times.
Whoa.
Filled him up.
Round him up.
Jesus, that must
Dude.
have been a drunk place.
It was, and then he texted me the next morning, like, boom, he's out. He didn't. I don't think he drinks as much as I do. And that dude, I'll tell you, I'm a ride or die for him. He was the nicest. We sat and talked. We just talked about something really important in life is celebrating, like celebrating victories. And I love the way he does that. I really do. When he has a victory, he goes on like a celebration tour, and I feel like the universe then fucking is set right. Like, Leanne has a phrase. It's called "Earn Your Mondays," right? So like, I'm gonna get emotional telling this because it's a cool fucking thing. It's "Earn Your Mondays." It means bust your ass all fucking weekend for us comics, all weekend, and do so well. You earn your Monday. You don't have to pick up the phone. You don't have to do a fucking thing. You can just fucking sit back in the cut and go, I earn my Monday. Like Amy Schumer's movie Trainwreck did really well, right? It's opening week. And that's when Leanne said it the first time. She goes, man, she earned her Monday. I said, what do you mean? She goes, she did press for 2 weeks leading up to this. She's been going theater to theater trying to help sell tickets. And it's done, and it did well. She earned her Monday. And it's I think it might be in Scientology. Like, it might be a thing in Scientology, but when Izzy earns his Monday, like after that fight, the way he celebrates life for like 2 weeks, he goes out, he's in Miami, he's in New York, he's in Vegas, he's in LA, he's in London, like he does a tour.
Yeah.
I said to him, I go, that's really inspirational. Like, the way that you look at life as it needs to be. He goes, yeah, you gotta celebrate these moments. I think it's cool as fuck. Wait till you see the fucking bender I'm going on if my movie does well this weekend. You want to talk about...
How could you ramp it up any more than you're already doing it?
Dude, I listen, I'll tell you what, I'm going to rehab. I want someone to chloroform me at the premiere, and I want to wake up a week later. They go, your movie did great, Bert. your body's clean. You've been hydrated. You slept.
Just keep you on a constant IV.
Dude, I need to say this real quick, and right now, everyone please go to movie theaters this weekend and see my movie, The Machine. Yeah, please go out of the house. Buy a ticket to a movie theater. That is our biggest challenge, is getting people in movie theaters. So if you love me, or you've ever loved me, you used to love me, you think I'm annoying as fuck now, whatever the fuck it is, just give me a shot. Get out of the house and go see the story that started on this fucking podcast. I would have never told it on stage if this man right here didn't say, you have to tell it on stage. This is your fucking movie. You need to know him as the Machine. For now on, call out his name at shows, make him tell that story. I leaked the trailer on this movie was gonna sit on a fucking shelf. Joe, you've done so much for me. Do it for Joe, guys. Do it for Joe.
Do it for me.
Prove that he's the motherfucker.
Well, I just think it's a fun fucking movie, man.
It's a good movie. It's an action.
It's gonna be fun.
It's a big action comedy that needs to be seen on the big screen. And I think people will be surprised at how fun this movie is. It's just fucking fun. And I've been fucking up I was telling you I've been fucking up promotion for it because I'm way too honest. I'm not an actor. Like I'm just like, they're like, what are the kissing scenes like? And I'm like, it's rough. Go ahead. We had one kissing scene. I didn't know there was kissing scenes in the movie because I don't read the action when I read the scripts. I just read the dialogue. So I don't read like, hey, Bert comes back, kisses his wife, and knocks her off her feet. I just go like, oh, Leanne was in, and they're like, hey, you have a kissing scene. And I was like, what? And they're like, yeah, your wife. And I was like, shut the fuck up. I was like, is that cool? And Leanne's like, yeah, you're an actor. I was like, yeah, but I haven't cheated on you in ever. Like, I haven't kissed someone in 20 fucking years. She was like, it's just acting. And I was like, okay. All I'll say is the pants I was wearing were loose fitting, and I don't wear underwear.
Oh, Bert.
We did one take, and I was like, costume change, please. They're like, what? I was like, I need to change my pants. I guess I'm not an actor. I'm just a regular dude.
Oh, my goodness, Bert.
They're like, huh? And I was like, I don't know. What the fuck are you supposed to do? You're supposed to kiss someone and then just, like, how the fuck does that work? You ever kiss someone?
Your body doesn't know that it's just acting.
No.
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 How could it?
Yeah. I did the first kiss. My wife Stephanie is cool as fuck. By the way, I've talked with her and we've talked about this a number of times. And she goes, we do the first kiss, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm just like, you know. And she's like, hey, you know, really go for it. Like, really go for it. And I was like, for real? She's like, yeah, like try to like knock me off my feet, like kiss me. So I was like, okay. I'm not thinking about it. I'm a fucking bam. Walk up, whoom, and then she kissed back, and I was like, what the fuck is happening? This is different. Holy shit. And then I'm like, costume change. I need tape. Like, someone get me ice.
Are you allowed to talk about that?
You're not supposed to. You're supposed to say, here, ask me what the kissing scene was like.
What was the kissing scene like?
You know, it was good. I would say it's just acting. It's just acting. It's what we do as actors. Okay.
Which is true.
Yeah, well, it is for some people, but it's also a fucking hardcore lie. It's also why Brad Pitt fucked Angelina Jolie. It's because you make out with her a couple times, you're like, that was fucking nice. I wonder what it's like. And then you're laying in bed going, and Jennifer Aniston's texting, you're like, pass. Like fucking Leanne, we did the kissing scene all day. All day I kissed this woman for like 30 minutes, 35 minutes, kissed her. Like, got comfortable kissing her. And then we got in bed in Serbia, and Leanne's like, hey, you want to do it? I was like, beat it, scissor lips. It's like, I'll come back to you when I need to.
Oh, how rude.
My wife's got a good sense of humor.
I hope so.
Yeah. The whole movie in general was like, I was not coming. I ripped my fucking arm. I blew my arm out. But
what is it like to have a story get turned into a movie? That's got to be weird as fuck. Like a story that like you kind of have to tell now. Like if you do a show and you don't tell the machine story, people will get angry at you.
But they did it last time I was here.
Yeah.
We were up here and they started chanting the machine. And I was like, guys, I'm at the Comedy Mothership. I'm just at an hour 15. And that was the best. That was one of the that's the coolest thing about that goddamn club is I see fucking Ron up in the top and I go, I'll tell the machine if Ron comes down and tells Tater Salad. And the place is like, Ron White's here? And Ron's like, fuck it, I'm coming down. Ron White comes on stage, tells Tater Salad. I go to tell the machine and realize I can't follow Tater Salad. The best story ever told. So it's surreal having your life turned into a movie. It's surreal. Like it is like, it was emotional at times. And then it's weird because I feel very vulnerable, you know, like, because some of the questions people ask, they're like, they put teeth in it. They're like, so you rob people? And you're like, okay. Jesus Christ. So you approve of what the mafia does? You're like into the mafia. And I'm like, hey man, can we not make it so real? Like, you're keeping your eyes open while we kiss. Let's fucking just make it regular. Like Good Morning America.
So they got upset with the premise?
They were just like, they read half of it and then they're like, so you're in the mafia? And you're like, no, it's a little more complex than that. But no, but you like got welcomed into the mafia, and you're like, yeah, like kind of. It's better when you hear the whole story. I think I tell it a little different. And they're like, and you robbed your friends. Are they cool with you now? And I'm like, yeah. Some of them are coming to the premiere. Like, fucking Jesus Christ. Let's. Can we move to the next subject? I don't believe in vaccines.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's been interesting. It's been fun. I'll tell you what's been really fun is finding out just how wide this story has reached. Like, I didn't expect certain people to be like fans of mine. Like, and I know that sounds like bad, but like, you're always like when you look at your audiences, my audience kind of looks like the same one thing. Guys that have chicks that are hotter than they deserve. They all have beards. They're all a little overweight. Like, that's my fan base. I literally go, hey man, I can tell you the sponsors I can get for my tour. Lipitor would be a good sponsor. Some blood pressure medicine, some beard trimmers. Not Lipitor. I know we're talking about statins, but I know my fan base, and then you get like dudes who are like, I fucking love you, and like Big Boy from Big Boy's Neighborhood. I was like, you know who I am? He was like, yeah, why wouldn't I? I was like, I don't know, I just didn't think, you know, like Nori from Drink Champs. He's like, dude, he goes, I told my wife, we got my favorite comedian coming on, and she's like, you mean the big fat white guy that takes his shirt off? And you're like, wait, when you're younger, you try so hard to appeal to all demographics. Almost like it's like fake. And then once you're yourself, you're truly yourself, that's when you appeal. That's when you're the most appealing. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. Yeah, because it's hard to do. It's hard to do publicly.